Good day, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Coaching Center's LinkedIn Profile Reboot Seminar. And during the next 45 minutes, I am going to show you various ways that you can reboot your LinkedIn profile to produce the results you are looking for from your profile. And after the webinar, we will have a question period. So I ask that you leave your questions until then. I will probably stop in between just in case there are any questions halfway through. And besides, you never know, I may even answer your questions. Rebooting your LinkedIn profile. Personally, I like the term reboot. To me, it says kicking things up a notch, bringing new life into something than it was before, to bring it in alignment to the reason why you're there to begin with. It says, let's reach your career goals via this amazing job search tool called LinkedIn. I can't say enough about LinkedIn and how it is so underutilized by so many job seekers. I really, really want to stress this during the next 45 minutes, and I always stress this to all my clients, and those who are on the line will attest to this, that LinkedIn really is underutilized. So what I want to do today is to introduce to you some tweaks and maybe some tips you weren't aware of to really get your profile up and running, and more importantly, even more visible to those people you really want your profile to be visible to. This is my mandate, to make it visible so your LinkedIn lives to its highest potential for you in your career goals. And to properly reboot your LinkedIn profile, I believe we need to connect back to the why. Why are you on LinkedIn to begin with? What is it that made you realize that LinkedIn at that moment was very important to actually plug in your information, put in some info about your career goals? What was it that made you go there to begin with? We go back to that. Now compare that to your present career path. Is it in alignment? Is it working together to take you to your next step? If not, why not? What is missing? How can we make it work for you? Maybe it's just needing a few adjustments to correct it and help you move towards either the career goal that you had back then is still relevant today, or if you have even a new career path you would like to undertake. Let's get you up and running and moving towards that. So either way, however way you are looking to reboot, welcome. I am so glad that you're here today. And I want you to stay tuned, because at the end of the webinar, we have an exclusive offer to all of the participants on the webinar today. And I tell you, you really don't want to miss it. So make sure you stay tuned. And first of all, who am I? Well, my name is Anna Perrette, and I am the managing partner at Cosmic Coaching Center. I am a certified social network career strategist via the Academy. I am also a professional resume writer. I have worked with clients in Canada, US, and Europe. And for years, and the reason why I became a resume writer is I found for years myself at a loss in my own career. I was really good at what I was doing, but I really did not feel like I truly fit in. I didn't really feel the passion for it. So starting my own career search, I found that I really enjoyed helping others finding their career pathway or helping them to the next step. And it really fulfilled me. So through my own frustration within my own career at that time to where I am now, came from a desire to help others to not feel that square peg in a round hole feeling. And over the years, I have found that that people really underutilize both the tools that are out there to help them as well as their skill sets. So I'm really happy to work with you at any time to help you within your career goal, not only just LinkedIn, as well through your resume as well. And who is Cosmic Coaching, who I work with? Cosmic Coaching was founded in 2002 by Cecile Peterkin. And Cosmic Coaching provides career coaching, and leadership development for mid-level managers, professionals, and executives. We offer a customized corporate training program that uses mentoring to equip future leaders with management skills. And at Cosmic Coaching, you are working with a team of professionals that have over 30 years in the coaching and training industry. Our services. We have a wide range of services, so I do encourage you to go to cosmiccoachingcenter.com, as you can see on the top of your screen there. The bulk of our services are individual, career, group, and life coaching, management, and planning. Also, professional career writing services between resumes, LinkedIn profiles, CVs, etc. As well, we help with talent management and succession planning. So look towards cosmiccoachingcenter.com. Take a look. We have a very active community there and a very active blog as well that is updated weekly with new tips and tweaks for your career path. So, like I mentioned, why are you on LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn working for you? Is your profile meeting your why career goals? What I really want to stress in the next 45 minutes is that a LinkedIn profile is not a passive tool in your job search toolbox. Rather, it is really an ever-evolving active body of work that showcases you, brand you. So reconnect to your why to get to the heart of your profile. I have found that after working with a number of clients, a lot of my clients do not know really why they are on LinkedIn. They see potential there, but they're not really sure how to utilize LinkedIn to its fullest potential. And from that knowledge base, from understanding that through clients and working through LinkedIn profiling with them, I decided, maybe we need to do a webinar to really put the word out there as to how valuable of a job search tool this is. What I have found as well, working with my clients, there were 4 top reasons why they were on LinkedIn to begin with. And today we're going to touch on those 4 reasons. And after that, if there is any other reason that is not touched upon in this webinar, I do invite you to contact me afterwards and we can look at that for yourself. There are 4 reasons for being on LinkedIn. You really want to be seen as an expert in your career field. This is the number 1 reason. People want to be seen as an expert. Also, you want to be visible to recruiters. Connect with the right companies to learn about career opportunities, as well as connecting and networking with the right people that can move you forward in your career as well. So all of this, all 4 reasons, involves you being highly visible on LinkedIn. How do you become highly visible? Well, I want you to look at LinkedIn as your Captain LinkedIn, a sidekick for your successful job search. So make sure your profile is active and evolving. You'll hear those 2 words a lot today with me because really that's what it is. It is not a stagnant piece of tool. It is active, it's evolving, it's interactive. So the first top reason, to be seen as an expert in your field. LinkedIn, I can't really express how priceless of a tool this is. It really leverages your profile as the go-to expert in your field. And how do you go about doing that? How can you be seen as an expert in your field? Well, first of all, one of my top hints is to have you create a LinkedIn group. Now, this LinkedIn group can be of various manners. That's what I'm trying to say. It could either be a group that focuses on a solution that your knowledge can actually solve. You can also use a group as a place where others in your career field who are experts in your career field gather together to converse and find out what is happening in your career field of choice. Or it could also be opening doors of mentoring those who are new to your field by utilizing your expertise to assist them in progressing through them. Those are just a few reasons to create a LinkedIn profile. And I would like to suggest to you that if you're not sure where to go with this, perhaps going on LinkedIn, finding LinkedIn groups that you would be interested in, seeing that it is your field of choice, going through and seeing what kind of groups are there. Maybe there's an oversaturation of solution-based careers where people ask questions or challenges towards you and you respond as the expert. Maybe there needs to be a group for mentoring. Maybe there needs to be a group for industry leaders to meet. So take the time to look at LinkedIn groups within your field. Another way to be seen as an expert in your field is to participate in other LinkedIn groups. And you can actually see the linkage between the first tip I gave you towards the second. When you participate in other LinkedIn groups, you're highlighting your own profile and attracting followers by your comments within the group. For example, somebody asks a question and you share a couple of tidbits of information to assist them. Suddenly, there you are interacting, and people are more liable to actually go and take a peek at your profile to see what other information do you have. Maybe there's something that the two of you can work together. So you never know what opportunities for promoting your business and your skills are out there. It also shows that you are current in your field and you plan on staying on top of trends to learn issues and solutions and building connections to your peers and prospects. Using groups to find profiles of people you want as clients and employers. Participate by listening and liking and commenting. You just never know who's out there participating. Be out there and be seen participating. The third tip I would have, so you are seen as an expert in your field, is to keep your network updated. Be active. Be active, regularly engage on LinkedIn, posting updates. And you know, your updates can be a number of different things, and I'll give you a few examples. Articles of interest that relates to your industry, or an article you wrote. You know, perhaps you were featured via a media outlet or a guest blogger. Perhaps you have a blog. You can update your network with your blog updates. Perhaps even asking a question that your network can relate to and respond to. And this one really works awesome in the group formats that I spoke of earlier as well. The fourth tip I would have, and some people do utilize this, and they do wonder if it really does work, is asking and highlighting recommendations and endorsements. What I believe about recommendations is that people trust those that have word of mouth following. So for example, if you've worked with Mary and Joe on a project, ask them immediately after the project has been completed for a recommendation to put on your profile, on your LinkedIn profile. This shows that to someone who's coming upon your profile, either being an individual or a company or a recruiter, anybody that we want to engage with you, that these people took the time to recommend you, that they took the time to list your skill sets in endorsements. That means a lot because not only are they highlighting your expertise, they're also indicating their own expertise in perhaps their own field or even if they're within your field. So it really does look really good on you. As well, ask for those recommendations, but please give them as well too. The fifth tip I would have about being seen as an expert in your field, promote your LinkedIn profile. Anywhere you would engage with a potential client or a potential employer or anyone who may be interested in the expertise you have to offer. For example, on your blog or even if you were a guest blogger on a media outlet. Perhaps you can use it as an email as part of your signature. Place it on your newsletter as well. Really, the end result here is the more visible and active you are via social media, LinkedIn being one, and even face-to-face networking, the more aware people will be of your expertise, and you draw them to you. We are drawn to people that we trust. And if you see someone on a consistent basis, their face or their name or their LinkedIn profile popping up everywhere you are, they will actually start engaging and seeing you as an expert. So people trust those they see or know, virtually or face to face. So keep that in mind as I encourage you to be active. The second top reason for people to being on LinkedIn is to be visible to recruiters. LinkedIn really is the first place that professionals go to. And to give you an appreciation, there are 250 million LinkedIn users. That is 6 times the population of Canada. That's a lot of people on there who believe in the power of LinkedIn. So how do you stand out from a crowd of 250 million people and get attention from, and I put this in quotations, from the right recruiters? Well, here are my 5 top tips. Use the right words. Now, recruiters use a form of search engine called the Boolean search engine, which, if you have ever heard of this terminology, can be a bit temperamental in the words that it's seeking. Some of the criteria recruiters have used before are location, industry name, skill sets, and even job titles. So make sure to fill out every field in your profile, keeping in mind that you use industry-specific keywords so you're more liable to be found by this recruiter and by this Boolean search engine that they utilize. Make sure you list your skill sets under background because they will come up first in the Boolean keyword search, especially if your field is technical or quite specialized. A word of caution. Just make sure you don't stuff your profile like you would a Thanksgiving turkey. Don't stuff it with the same keywords over and over again, or even a whole bunch of keywords and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really tell a story. Just a whole bunch of keywords strung out together, which I have seen time and again. Make sure that your profile actually engages those keywords in proper context and really be clear with those keywords as well. Because you will get some recruiter requests that may feel irrelevant because you have either used a keyword that is too broad in nature and have not really put yourself in a specialized field. Don't be afraid to show your specialty, your niche, so to speak, or what your brand is all about. Now, what I want to say about a recruiter that may request or reach out to you and the position that they're offering or they're looking towards seems to feel irrelevant at that time. Please keep in mind that they do have other clients as well. They are also looking for other positions, maybe not at the moment, but they will happen. So make sure that your connection with that recruiter, even though it seems irrelevant, may be relevant in the future. So keep that in mind in your engagement, and also feel free to network with them as well. You just never know who they know. So my second tip on being visible to recruiters is being active and staying connected. Your level of activity on LinkedIn determines how highly you are ranked in the search results. So take the time to post industry relevant articles or make comments at least once a day towards updates in your network. Join relevant industry groups and ask questions of the other professionals in your field and post content there. Highly connected and highly active profiles are always ranked higher. So make sure you're on the top 10 for your industry. And just like in Google, where you would Google your name, make sure you do a LinkedIn search for yourself to see where you are within their own search engine. If you're not on the first page, start working towards being on that first page, because after that, the recruiters really kind of start getting a little bored and everything seems redundant to them. And that being said, my third tip is to run your own dream job search. So step into the role of the recruiter and think like a recruiter. Type in your job function, your industry and location, and see where you are ranking, just for the common search. Look at the profiles that are ahead of you. What is it that makes them ahead? What makes them to be one of the first ones to be found? Is it because they're active? Is it because of a well-written profile? Is it because they have a number of groups? Is it what is the reason? That's what you're looking for. Now you're looking for clues as to why Joe Smith is 10 above you, one of the first ones listed. What is it that he's doing? And this is when you start following that example as well. Number 4. This is a big one, and I tend to say this not just for LinkedIn profiles, but for resumes, for interviews, for any moments there are some form of potential contact. Toot your horn. I really do see it time and again that people are hesitant because they're not sure if they're sounding a bit too overconfident about their accomplishments or career achievements. My question is to that is, if you don't toot your horn, if you don't point out the skill sets you have worked hard to develop, the accomplishments you've worked hard to gain, who will? Sure, you can base it on some endorsements and recommendations, like I've indicated, but that can't be the only person talking. Besides, when you toot your horn, you're showing to the recruiter that you're very confident in yourself. You're confident in your skill sets. You're confident in what you can offer. And that really goes a long way in how the interaction goes. If you're very confident in the sense of what you can give to a potential employer, the recruiter is drawn to that energy. And you're being authentic. You're not being cocky at all. You're actually being authentic. So this is your chance to highlight your skills. Sell to the recruiter. Do not be meek. Showcase yourself. Use the updates to inform your network of these achievements. And again, keep your profile current and fresh and updated. My 5th tip on being visible to recruiters: be yourself and stand out. Most have what I like to call a set it and forget it kind of strategy to their LinkedIn profile. At times, when I go back to a client's profile, it reads more like a summary, taken right out of their resume. And if it's not professionally written, it has its limitations to begin with, but that's a whole other webinar, so we'll leave it at that. Put on the proactive mindset. Being proactive causes your visibility to be high. I can't stress that enough, and as you can tell just in the first 2 tips, you can see where the commonality is being active, being visible. It really does set you apart. There's a few tools you can use, and they're very basic. Use a picture that truly resembles you. It could be a professional picture, if that is what your industry calls for. It could be a little bit more of a relaxed, but yet professional. I wouldn't take a picture at the beach or on your summer vacation, but take a picture that truly you feel is reflective of you. As well, change up your profile to get results. Provide links to websites where you and your achievements are mentioned. So make sure you out there and constantly similar to how would I call it? Going to the store all the time. When it's always the same, let's say the same visible setup, you really stop paying attention to it. Let's say you walk into a store and their mannequins are dressed totally different. You spot it right away. Wow, for the last few times, all these mannequins have been dressed in blue. No, they're red and white, like Canada Day. How cool is that? Similar to your profile as well. LinkedIn provides a unique opportunity to tell your story that shows what you want to get out of your career and how your expertise and experiences are aligned with those goals and what you can bring to a potential employer. Use this space well. Consider it your career billboard. Get the attention, get read, and get hired. We are halfway through the webinar, and I thought I would just stop now and open up the chat lines and see if there's any questions, if any of the participants have any questions, and then we can proceed to the next two remaining. Is there any question? Okay, there are no questions at this time, so I'll just motor along with the remaining two. Pardon me, I just need something to drink. Now, the third reason people are on LinkedIn is to connect to the right company. I look at connections as I look at communication. You can connect, but are you connecting properly? Are you connecting with those that are a right fit to you in your career aspirations? Here are a few tips on helping you find the right connections. These are my top 5. Take advantage of those best of lists. We've always come across them at the grocery line. Maclean's tends to have them as well. The best of 10 top universities, or the best of most family friendly, best 10 of industry leaders, the top 10 of 30 entrepreneurs of under 30. Oh, geez, I can't say that. What is that again? The top 10 of under 30 entrepreneurs. That's what I'm trying to say. That way you can take a look and see how these people are best of is in alignment to what you believe and value as well. Because if they're best of, let's say, of being the most family friendly, and one of your top personal values is to have family time and to be connected with your family, there will be a better matchup of values, of missions, of everything, really. So if you have to miss an appointment or if you need to work from home one day, that best of family-friendly companies will more liable to be in engagement and understanding of those situations as well. Just for an example. What I suggest to my clients when they come across a best of list is just start researching them. Go through LinkedIn and see if there's any even possible links. You have so many people in your network, you just never know where they're connected with that company as well. They can even be in a group that you participate in, or even part of your college or university alumni relations as well. So go through LinkedIn, research them through that way, see if there's any form of connection, and see if they are truly in alignment to what you believe as well. Because you really want to connect with a company that is right for you. And that really leads me to tip number 2. Matching up the company's values and passion to your values and passions. For example, are you an accountant that always have wanted to work for an environmental nonprofit for your own beliefs in the environment? Excuse me. Or do you like to hike and want to pursue an administrative role with an outdoor sports equipment company? Again, are you a parent looking for more family-oriented corporate mindset? Find the businesses that relate to your passion, relate to what you value the most, and see where your skills could be put to professional use within that organization. Excuse me. The third tip I have is look at the company's leadership team. A company tends to be the reflection, and that could be either good or bad, of its leaders. Use the LinkedIn search tool to find people who work there. Check out their backgrounds and take a look at their education and how their career paths developed, their interests. Now you ask, does it match up to your career plans, to your ideas, to your values? And if it does, start reaching out. Be where they are within the LinkedIn community. My fourth tip to connecting with the right companies, look at their employee career path. Now look at their employees, either current or past. Where did they work before they joined the company? How long were they at the company? Are they still there? What jobs did they take on when they left? Spend a little time digging, and you'll really get a feel for the kind of people the company hires. Is there a fit? Are you similar to the employees of past or present that this company engages with? Or even the kind of people that it retains? Is there opportunities and growth potential for you? LinkedIn has a new company search that gives you a chance to discover connections in your network and filter them by the companies they work for. So this helps to expand your professional network in ways that you may not have really thought of before. And as well, when you look at an employee career path within a company, for example, it's safe to assume that a founder of and the CEO of 5 different companies who has actually started them up in 5 different companies in the last 12 years would value someone who has quick decisions, pivots quickly, and has an entrepreneurial mindset. It's also safe to assume that a company whose leaders rose through the ranks in a logical progression of roles will somehow expect others to follow a similar or more traditional career pathway or career progression. So take a look at that and see if they're in alignment to what it is you want for yourself. And as well, this one is so basic, but we tend to forget, we overcomplicate it. Geographical search. Look in your backyard. You just never know that company that you've driven by so often on your way home or on your way to work could be a perfect fit for what you want. Find companies that really interest you. That's the bottom line here. Whether or not they have a posted job opening will help you take an active role in your job search. Just don't wait passively for the right job to be advertised. Just instead, again, be active, seize the initiative, have an active mindset, and pursue companies where you know you can make a difference and where your passion is ignited, as opposed to sending out 100 resumes or 100 possible connections. Make 10 connections and make them count. Make them good, make them valuable, and make them, like I said, count. The last reason people tend to use LinkedIn for their profile is to connect with the right people. And how can you connect with the right people? Are you kind of stagnant? You've kind of exhausted your whole list? Well, think again. One of my top tips is to use your existing network. See who you have in your network at this moment. Find out who they're connected to. Try to find some common ground in order to reach out to those second and third connection base. You see that in the corner where it says, Mary is connected to Joe, and Joe can be connected to you on a second type of connection. Find a connection with Joe. Look on his profile. See what perhaps he is a environmental activist, just like you are. There's a common ground in order to reach out to Joe. So don't be afraid to use our existing network. Even ask them, I saw Joe is on your profile, and even though I haven't really talked to him, I'm really curious about him and if perhaps I should reach out to him because there seems to be some common ground. And then now you're utilizing Mary. Mary can even say, well, Joe's not really a great fit for you, but you know what? Lori does. Lori loves environmental issues like you do. So here you go. Here you can move on to Lori and find some common ground, and you just grow your network by one person, and you never know who they know as well. So Use your existing network. The second tip for connecting with the right people, develop a target list. Now, really spend some time, sit down and think of people you can reach out to. You can even break them down into industries, industry leaders as one group, recruiters as another group, hiring or human resource managers in another group, perhaps an informational source group, individuals that are your cheerleaders or career mentors as well. Speak to also family and friends and explain to them what you're trying to accomplish via LinkedIn. Then ask for recommendations and introductions if possible and if that's the right fit as well. And start reaching out. In this target list, you will also know and find out through going through different profiles. Is this the right type of connection? That's my third tip. Take the time to read each profile that you've made from your existing network, from your target list, pulling all those names, looking at the profile, and reading, and decide, is this the right connection for you? Is there a benefit for you and for them through this connection? And if there is, then let's move along to tip number 4. Craft a compelling invite. So here you sit down, you've determined that this is the right type of connection, you've utilized your network, you've made a target list, and all signs point to go. Okay, so here, write and connect with them and be clear with your motivation. People respond to authenticity. So actually express the common ground that you find between the two of you. Do not use, I know LinkedIn has a standard invite where I would like to connect with you via LinkedIn. I would suggest that you take the time to write this, explaining your common ground, what you're interested in, and how you would like to connect with them as well. And a word of caution here. If you are a salesperson and you really want to pitch them, consider just sending them an email as well through LinkedIn, as opposed to being asking to be a LinkedIn connection right off the bat. Because if your motivation is just to pitch them, nobody wants to be hounded on connecting right away if there's not the right connection, if they're not interested in what you're selling. So pitch to them through an email, and then if you see there's some form of connection, go ahead and ask to be a connection through LinkedIn. And with that being said, you're pulling in from your network, you're building it through your target list, you're confirming, yes, this is the right connection, you've crafted a compelling invite. This is where you nurture your network relationships. Again, it's not a passive tool. Here you are on LinkedIn being active, you nurture. How do you nurture? Well, LinkedIn makes it really easy for you. They notify you if work anniversaries. They also notify you for birthdays. You can also reach out by forwarding articles of interest that are common between the two of you, perhaps even a common professional insight, or perhaps a common interest you both have. One thing I want to say, and this is all true for any form of relationship, even to me, even more important when you're trying to do the right connection with the right people. Give before you take from that relationship. Make yourself valuable, make yourself of service to your people on your network. And when you ask a favor, when there's a moment that you need to request something, they will be more than happy to help you, seeing that you have given them so much value-oriented stuff for themselves as well. So keep that in mind. So, are you in? Are you in LinkedIn? One thing you will notice, or you may have noticed, is that there's quite a few commonalities between all 4 reasons, not just the 4 reasons, but the tips of staying on LinkedIn, why you're on LinkedIn, and how to engage in LinkedIn. And you'll notice that these 4 tips run kind of seamlessly through all 4 reasons of being LinkedIn. And these are the 4 points I want you to remember. If you take anything away, these are the 4 points. Stay active. Stay on top of your game. Stay on top of search engines for recruiters, for the right people and companies to easily find you. Position yourself as a go-to expert in your field. And be consistent on your updates and status. It will expand your visibility and increase your opportunity to be seen by the right recruiters, by the right companies, by the right people, and position yourself as an expert. Connect, 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 connect. Can I say connect even more so? Look at the various ways you can connect with your network. Use that second and third connections database to find common ground and connect. Use groups in both industry-based and client-based to expand your outreach. And don't be afraid to outreach. What is the worst that can happen? They say no? Exactly. If you do your research and do your research well and find that common ground, people will be more than happy to connect with you. And toot your horn. Toot, toot, toot. Don't be meek. Be that squeaky wheel that gets connected, that gets the clients, that gets that next step into your career. Fourth tip, nurture and grow. Keep your network updated with what is happening in your world. Reach out, give value to get value. People really remember when a good deed done authentically and honestly, and you will be on top of their mind when it comes to fulfilling a need they have, or a need somebody in their network has, or an opportunity or a challenge that you can assist them with. If you really want to build influence on LinkedIn, always remember to focus on promoting, referring, and engaging your connections. Really be authentically engaged in your network, and they will be authentically engaged to you. By keeping these 4 points alone, this will garner you the results you're looking for that will reboot your profile to its optimal performance level. I also wanted to remind people at this time, for all the participants here, that I will be revealing our special offer to everyone on the webinar today, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to open up the lines now for any questions you may have. Either I also have a chat line here if your audio is not working, or if you're unable to speak, since if you're at work or during your lunch hour, you can type away your questions there. I'm going to open up the lines now for any questions you may have. Is there any questions? Someone here is typing a question. This is a really good question. Hi, for those of us over 50, do you advise us to show full employment history? That is a great question, and this is my standard response. Your career history should really concentrate on the last 10 and at the very most 15, but I really focus on the 10 years of your career. Any information that is past that, for example, we're in the year 2015, if it's 2000 to 2004, however, if in those years there is something really amazing you did, some major accomplishment that really set your career on fire to your next step, we can put that in. That can totally be put in there. But you really want your main focus to be on your most recent, because the most recent is the most relevant skill set that sells your experience and that it sells your achievements to any future employer. And it also depends on how many roles you've had over your career. If there are only a few, you may want to leave it all there, but reduce the detail. Increase the detail in the most recent and reduce the detail in the most archival type ones. If there's lots of roles, like I said, just focus on your most recent. That is the most relevant anyway. And really important, don't date yourself that way. Thanks for that question, by the way. That was a really good question. Is it worth upgrading and paying for LinkedIn? That is true. LinkedIn does offer an enhanced profile. Now, I would say, first of all, before engaging and having an outlay of cash, make sure that you are using your basic profile to its fullest potential first. And if you're not getting the results, if you have followed the tips that I have outlined here and have gone above and beyond and you're not getting the results, then yes, pay for that. But until you fully utilize LinkedIn in its basic format, I would not recommend going and upgrading and paying because you're just going to get the same results. And I say that because if it's stagnant now, it'll continue being stagnant then. If you're one of those people, though, who have to pay an outlet of cash in order to see the value or actually become more engaged, then yeah, definitely, then do that because if that helps you to get engaged because you have a financial invested interest, absolutely do so. However, like I said, my general rule of thumb is use the basic to its fullest potential by utilizing these tips and tweaks that I've suggested, by being active, by tooting your horn, by being out there and engaging. If they're not getting that results, then by all means, definitely. Great question. Really great question. Any other questions? All right, we're going to motor along because we are getting to almost the top of the hour here. And as promised at the beginning of the webinar, we have an exclusive offer available to you. Yes, you. It really is our way at Cosmic Coaching Center to say thank you for being here. Our special offer. All webinar participants will receive a discount towards a LinkedIn profile valued at $90. Everyone will receive $30 off the original price of $90. However, this is where it gets really good. The first 5 participants to email us by midnight tonight will receive an additional $15 off. That is 50% off the original price. So if you really want to kickstart and reboot your LinkedIn profile, contact us. And this is where you can contact us and have a professionally written LinkedIn profile. And we can after that is done, you can just focus on connecting, and being active. And you can contact us at all of these various different awesome ways through Cosmic Coaching Center with an RE.com. You can also email us at info@cosmiccoachingcenter.com. My own personal email there is Anna, ANA, @Cosmic Coaching Center. We also have a Facebook page as well. Go visit us there. We're always putting the latest tips and trends as well and articles that we've written to keep you on top of your career game. You can also connect with me via Twitter, twitter.com/Anna Perrett, or even our work Twitter account @Cosmic Career. As well, look me up on LinkedIn. Do a print screen now so you can jot that down, easier for you to focus on that. And you can also call us toll free, old style, 1-866-486-4112. I really want to thank you for being on this call today, on this webinar, and for giving me the platform to share some of the ways you can reboot your LinkedIn profile. So that being said, you now have a mission. You have one person here, right here, who will accept your invitation on LinkedIn, and that would be me. So reach out, link in to me, and have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for being here.